Hello everyone, Mucklick Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire the Fourth here, and this is a guide on salvage kits. What are the different types, what should they be used for, and which one will make you the most money in each situation? Let's get started. I have touched on this topic in a few other videos, but never done a dedicated video for it, so let's fix that now. There are many different types of salvage kits with some text that can be confusing for new players. Let's go over what these mean. So first off, the terminology. So here's a random salvage kit on the merchant. It says you double click to salvage crafting materials from an item in your inventory. It has a 15% chance of rarer materials and a 40% chance of salvaging upgrades. Now, what do those last two lines mean? Here I've got the copper-fed Runecrafter and silver-fed Salvage-O-Matics you can get from the gem stores. These are the infinite use kits. I've also got some of the normal kits from the vendor. Now, basic salvage kit and a copper-fed Salvage-O-Matic are the exact same, other than one has 25 charges and this one is infinite. 10% chance of rarer materials. Now let's stop there. What does rarer materials mean? If I use this kit on a blue item, you can see down here I got an elderwood log and a essence of luck. That's it. Okay, you're not gonna get anything crazy from salvaging a blue item. Now, rare materials would mean that instead of getting the elderwood log, I might get multiple logs, or I might get the next tier of resource above it. So right there we got like 3 iron ore, we got thick leather and then 3 thick leather. So we might have gotten bonuses from the 10%. We got higher quantity or better quality, meaning the next tier of ingredient. Now, what does the line 20% chance of salvaging upgrades mean? The easiest way to show this is to use the Runecrafter Salvage-O-Matic. The Runecrafters has a 100% chance of salvaging upgrades. It will always happen. So let's take a look at this random green item. You'll notice it has a minor sigil of chilling in it. So that is the upgrade. So what is going to happen if I salvage this with something that has a 100% chance of salvaging upgrades? It will A, salvage the steam spear gun, and then B, it will salvage the sigil. So let's go ahead and try that now. And look down here, we got mithril ore from the spear gun and a lucent mote from the sigil. This is the exact same as if you used an extractor to extract the sigil, then salvage both of them one by one. Now, if I use a basic salvage kit, which only has a 20% chance of salvaging upgrades on a green item, there would be an 80% chance that we will not get the bonus stuff. And there we go. We got 3 elderwood logs, but we did not salvage the sigil. So whatever the sigil or the rune would have turned into was completely lost. Now, because of this, the copper-fed Salvage-O-Matic or the lower tier salvage kits are the best ones to use for blue and white and gray items. And the reason for that is they never have sigils or runes on them, ever. So there is no reason to use these kits, which cost much more per usage. As an example, the Runecrafters uses 30 copper every time you use it. The copper uses 3, 1/10 of the cost every time you use it. So using a Runecrafters on these when they don't have any upgrades to salvage would just be a waste of your coin. So just use the lower tier kits on these and you're getting about the best thing that you could possibly get. You're getting the most bang for your buck there. Now, for those same reasons, because green items do have runes and sigils in them, the best kit to use is the Runecrafters Salvage-O-Matic. Now, the Runecrafters Salvage-O-Matic does not have a in-game outside of the gem store counterpart. So for example, here's a vendor that sells salvage kits. None of these have a 100% chance of salvaging upgrades. The closest one is the Master's Kit with an 80, but none of them have 100. So if you've got the Runecrafter Salvage-O-Matic, you should use that for green items, and you're gonna end up with lots of things like these lucent motes, and rarely you will get things like these charms, which can be used to make runes and sigils if you fancy yourself a crafter, and those can be sold on the trading post. Or you can just sell the charms on the trading post. And as you can tell, here's a stack of mine. They sell for quite a bit. And But to really stress, you get them rarely. I just salvaged 6 items, I got no charms, but you get them sometimes. Now, we've already covered that chance of rare materials means either more of a material or a higher tier of a material when you salvage something, and the chance of salvaging upgrades is the chance to salvage things like the rune and or sigil. So, why would we use the Silver-Fed or Master's Salvage Kit, which you can get from a merchant, instead of a lower one? This has an only 80% chance of salvaging upgrades, but a 25% chance of rare materials. And the answer to that is ectoplasms. When you salvage high-level items, high-level yellows and oranges, there is a chance when you get the rarer material, instead of getting wood or metal, you would get ectoplasm. And ectoplasms are worth quite a bit of money. They're used in tons of different crafting at endgame, some legendaries as well. These are constantly being bought and sold. So if we use a Silver-Fed Salvage-O-Matic or a Master Salvage Kit from a merchant on yellow items, got lucky. We got an ecto in the first one. Now, if we use the Runecrafter Salvage-O-Matic on our yellow items, it is still possible to get an ectoplasm if you're lucky, and it is possible to get the motes too. But there you see, I just salvaged an item and I got 1 Orichalcomore. So it's a lower chance. Now, going from 20 to 25 is a pretty big deal when you're salvaging hundreds of items. So for these reasons, because of how valuable ectoplasms are, the Silver-Fed Salvage-O-Matic or the merchant-bought Master Salvage Kit is the best one to use on high-level yellows and oranges. Now, really quickly, let's take a moment to talk about the Mystic Salvage Kit. Many of you new to the game might have gotten Mystic Forge Stones from your daily login rewards and not known what to do with them. Taking 3 of these Forge Stones along with 1 of each of these 3 different salvage kits that you could just buy from a merchant and throw them in the Mystic Forge gets you a Mystic Salvage Kit. It has 250 uses. It'll last you a good long time, and it has the exact same stats as the Master Salvage Kit or the Silver-Fed Salvage-O-Matic. If you don't have a Silver-Fed, I recommend using your Mystic Forge Stones to stay stocked on Mystic Salvage Kits rather than buying Master Salvage Kits, simply because you'll have to make a lot less trips to the merchant. The Mystic Kit has 10 times as many uses as a Master's. Now, I have Is It Worth It videos on the Copper-Fed Runecrafter and Silver-Fed Salvage-O-Matics. However, I've touched on so much of the information already, we might as well just do the last little bit for that. If you don't have any of the Salvage-O-Matics and you're considering getting them, if you're gonna get one, I'd say Copper-Fed. It's one of my top picks for quality of life items. It is the one you would use the most every time you loot anything salvageable that's like a white item or a blue items. You would just use the Copper-Fed to rip it apart. It has some major quality of life perks. For example, I'm going to make a total mess of my inventory by identifying all 112 of these blue items here, and then I'm just going to right click my Copper-Fed Salvage-O-Matic and hit salvage all blue and lower items and hit accept, and it is simply going to go through my inventory and rip every single one of these apart, one by one, and it is so nice and so easy, and I don't even have to think about it. And you see we've got all these materials here, I can just hit deposit all. Now, this is a great segue into our next topic. You notice how I just identified a lot of blue items and there was a lot of things left over, including a yellow and many, many greens. Whenever you identify something, there is a chance it will jump in rarity. Blue items can become green, yellow, or orange. Green items can become yellow or orange. Yellow items can become orange. Now, let's talk about the value of that. This is Dusk, one of the most valuable orange items in the game, over 500 gold. This is its little sibling, Dawn, 393. These are precursors used to make legendaries. Every time you identify something, there's a very small chance you could get one of those. So if you choose to salvage something, you've really got two options here. As far as I'm concerned, if you've got a stack of stuff here, you got 2 options. Either A, sell it while it's unidentified for guaranteed money, or B, identify it, then salvage it. Do not salvage it while it's unidentified. Don't do that. That's throwing money down the drain. Basically, every potential yellow and orange that is in this stack of greens is lost by just, if I were to hit accept and salvage it right now, you don't want to do that. So either sell it while it's un-ID'd, or ID it, then salvage it for maximum profit. Additionally, on that topic, while I was identifying stuff for this video, came across a greatsword. There is a Mystic Forge recipe where you throw 4 yellow items of the same type, example, a greatsword, into the Mystic Forge to get an orange out of that type. Now, greatswords are the most commonly sought item for this recipe because of the Dusk and Dawn blades I showed you earlier. People will just throw in yellow greatswords into the Mystic Forge by the truckload to try and get one of these and make a profit if they are lucky. It's kind of gambling. Because of that, whenever you're identifying items, if they are worth more than an ecto or 2, you'd probably make more money just by selling them. So if I were to go to this greatsword and hit sell, it's 1/3 of a gold. Very, very often, yellow max level greatswords, it's better to just sell them on the trading post than to break them, because even if you got an ecto from it, you probably just lost money. So keep an eye out for yellow greatswords. It's good to sell those, easy money. So just a final recap, I've given you the math and the reasons why, but just kind of a TLDR at the end for those of you who don't want to know all the reasons for it. If you are max level, use the Copperfed Salvage-O-Matic if you have it, or just low quality salvage kits if you don't have it on blue and white items. If you have the Runecrafter Salvage-O-Matic, I would say use that on green items. If you don't have the Runecrafter Salvage-O-Matic, just use the crappy kits on greens also. If you've got the Silver-Fed Salvage-O-Matic, or if you don't, use the Master Salvage Kit, or the Mystic Salvage Kit, which has the 250 uses made with the Mystic Forge Stones from daily login rewards. Use any of those 3 for your max level yellow and orange salvages to get the most bang for your buck. And I think that about covers it. That is all I know about salvaging. The prices will change slightly over time. There are some forums on the web with some much mathier nerds than I am that are constantly, ebbing and flowing based on the in-game economy. But those habits I just showed are the basics of how I keep my money high without a whole lot of thought put into it beyond that. Hopefully this helps some of you out and answers any salvage-related questions you may have had. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, please consider leaving a like for the YouTube algorithm. Comment if you have any more tips or tricks on salvage kits that I completely missed, and subscribe for more similar content. That's all for today. Happy salvaging!